I have had the wonderful opportunity to serve as a diplomat for the United States for 32 years now. When I joined, I figured that I would be seeing the world. And in fact, after 32 years, I've seen a relatively narrow swath of the world, meaning pretty much the broader Middle East. This is my second time serving in Bahrain. Previously, I was here from 2004 to 2007. So it was such a wonderful opportunity to come back to the kingdom, a place where I feel like I know the people pretty well and I know the country pretty well. Otherwise, I have also been in the Gulf region, in the United Arab Emirates, and other places, Turkey, Jordan, Egypt, Iraq, Afghanistan, and then I've worked on issues of the Middle East in Washington. Well, first and foremost, I arrived here in Bahrain in early February of 2022. And of course, the pandemic was still on. And that really was hard for diplomats. As Secretary of State Tony Blinken says, diplomacy is a contact sport, meaning you have to get face-to-face with people, you have to shake hands, and you have to look one another in the eye to work out issues. Thankfully, due to Bahrain's very effective management of the pandemic, Bahrain emerged pretty soon after that, and it allowed all of us, citizens of Bahrain or residents of Bahrain, to get out and see one another face to face. I would say the other thing from a substantive point of view is, of course, the third week of February of last year, Russia invaded Ukraine. So that put a big difference on how the United States is working with Bahrain and all nations of the world in order to push back the unjust, unfair invasion of a peaceful nation, a peaceful neighbor. Well, first and foremost, it is to build upon the already very, very solid foundation of relations between both the governments of the United States and Bahrain, but more importantly, between the peoples of the United States and Bahrain. We can go back 130 years when American citizens first came to Bahrain, and that was some American missionaries, and of course they formed a hospital and a school and a church, incredibly, all of which are still operating today. And of course, there is a brand new facility, the King Hamad American Mission Hospital, that opened up just a couple of months ago in Ali. We're very proud of that legacy and of the contributions that are still going on. So we have this great depth of common understanding, values that Americans and Bahrainis share. And really, it's my job, it's the job of this embassy to build on top of that, to make it ever stronger. Now, we do that in a couple of key areas, certainly in the strategic realm, the military relationship. We also work together, the United States and Bahrain, to deter our adversaries. The United States is also working very assiduously in order to build up Bahrain's relationship with Israel under the Abraham Accords. These are two very, very close friends of the United States, and we're glad that they have this relationship, and we can contribute to it as well. Of course, in the commercial realm, we do a lot of work together. And then in what I call the values aspect of our foreign policy, so human rights, civil society, democratic development, religious freedom. These are areas where Bahrain, the United States, share common ground. We work together. And then referring back to what I mentioned earlier, we have a very robust program of people-to-people connections and exchanges, and that's something we devote a lot of time towards. Our defense relationship is fundamental. In fact, the first permanent American military deployment in the Gulf region was right here to Bahrain in 1947 when we started a facility that continues to this day. It's changed over time, of course. Look, maritime security is not just important for the United States and not just for Bahrain, but it's important for the world. A very healthy percentage of the world's energy supplies come through the Arabian Gulf into the Arabian Sea and out into the economies of the world. So having the monitoring and oversight and being able to project power to ensure that commerce and trade continue unhindered is an important aspect of prosperity and growth in the global economy. And not just in the maritime realm. You're probably aware that Bahrain is now the very first customer to get the F-16 Block 70 aircraft, the most advanced F-16 ever made. Number one rolled off of the assembly line just a couple of months ago. And so now this represents as well a whole new area of our cooperation and collaboration in terms of military doctrine and training and exercises and interoperability, which is really just a fancy word to say that we can operate shoulder to shoulder, side by side in the military realm. I devote a lot of time to it. The team here at the United States Embassy does. And of course, just down the road, we have over 8,000 uniformed military members who are also working day in and day out to achieve the common objectives.